How you guys doing today? Happen to have another PAX Pokemon League battle versus a good buddy of mine in real life by the name of Chaz. I think this is our rematch that we had. This is the second time I'm playing him. I think he had... I'm trying to remember what days he challenged me. He probably challenged on Sunday, I think, because I think he normally works Monday to Friday. But he's local, so it was like, yeah, you know what, I'll play again sometime. It's no problem. I have two teams. I have an ORAS team, and I have an XY team. He's already seen my ORAS team, which is why I figured I would play him with the XY team. That way, I could let him know, hey, you know what, I am totally okay with changing things up because I don't want you to get too comfy with what I have going on. And he was like, yeah, it's cool. So I have Mega Gardevoir on this team instead of Mega Gallade, and it's a completely different lineup. It's not a stable one at all. No way. But XY metagame is a very different metagame than ORAS metagame. You don't have to... Mega Metagross doesn't exist, for one, and that's probably a big one, and there's a few other things floating around, but they are distinctly different enough to the point where I can just make a completely different team, and it works out okay. You know, you make do with what you have. So I have Scarf Terrakion versus a Superior. I don't want to reveal that I'm Scarfed at full HP because I don't think I can take him out at full HP. I figure I might as well bring in my Fortress and set up my Stealth Rocks, as he's going to go ahead and go for a Leaf Storm. He missed the first one. He goes for the second one to get the Contrary boost. The fact he goes for the second one makes me know for a 100% fact that he does have Hidden Power Fire. No sane person that, you know, did not have Hidden Power Fire would stay in there to do that. And thinking about this match, that was probably a little bit of a mistake losing Fortress that early, letting him do that. But to be honest, Superior is really scary to fight when you don't have a lot of resist for it. I didn't have Scizor on this team. I don't think I ran Heatran the entire weekend. I think I had one and just didn't bring it. Right there, I also mess up a little bit, and I go for X-Scissor instead of Close Combat. So I was like, it should kill, you know, 80 times 2 being 160. I got it. But 120 times 1.5 is 180. So probably only needed the 20 extra base power. That was definitely a huge goof on my behalf because he's actually going to be able to Rapid Spin on this turn and get those hazards off the field immediately. So the only thing that took Stealth Rock's damage was this, and I lost my physical wall in return. And I also revealed right there prematurely that I was a Zoroark. The reason I do not use Night Days is because it misses at really inopportune times. I think it's a 90 or 95 accuracy move, and I still miss it fairly often. I miss this thing more than I miss Air Slash, more than I miss High Jump Kick probably, and I was like, I'll try it again for the weekend. And fun fact, I actually think that's the only time I missed it, which was, I'm not going to say it mattered too much because that's a special defensive Tentacruel, but it still hurt my feelings, okay? That's still a thing that can happen. So I go for another one. I actually get the accuracy drops on both of them, which is pretty nice, pretty legit. I was like, he's going to miss a Scald. He's not going to get a burn on me because he has to hit me first. And it turns out he actually does hit me, and he does get a burn. And I'm like, well, what is the point of all these accuracy drops if nothing's going to happen? And I just noticed there's one guy in the background of the video, and he's got a glow stick. See if you can catch him. Oh, there's two of them. Sorry. There's probably even more. There's two more. Sorry. Complete distraction, but you guys already know what's happening on this turn. I die to Life Orb Recoil. He recognizes that I will die to Life Orb and burn because I am a super offensive Zoroark, and I don't have any, you know, status moves or anything like that. I'm just going to keep attacking as long as I can. So he figures he might as well get a layer up and let the burn do the rest of the work. But I get to go into my Zygarde on this turn, and here is where I'm going to push the game a little bit in my favor because I have a Lumberry, and I don't care about switching in on the Toxic Spikes. I would prefer at this point not to Outrage unless it is absolutely necessary, and as long as I don't get burned, things will be fine as well. He ends up going for a knockoff here, thinking that I probably had some kind of different item or something like that, thinking I was going to do something else, but he immediately forgot that I used my Lumberry on switch because he did get the turn to decide what he was going to do. So knockoff doesn't do anything. That might as well have been a free turn for me, and on top of that, he still has Tentacruel left that I can take out with anything else at any point in time. I do not fear Tentacruel. Even if he scalds, I'm still going to be at neutral attack and just double speed. I'm pretty sure I can still do some good damage, even if I am burned. But he does not stay in to attempt the scald. He actually just switches out, and he leaves it as fodder for later. So I'm pretty cool with that, you know what I'm saying? So you have to go for a +2 Earthquake. You guys already know that I live and die, and I swear by the Zygarde. This thing, yeah, this thing's pretty legit. It's like a Garchomp, but it gets faster. So here's that situation I'm talking about right here where I get forced into an Outrage. If he had reversed this and he sacrificed his Rotom first and then he switched into his Gardevoir, he would have locked me into Outrage sooner. I would not have been able to switch out, and I could have just died right there. But instead, he actually switches in Gardevoir first to die to an Earthquake. And then switches in Rotom to force me into Outrage, and I'm able to go for a +2 Outrage on Scizor, which does a pretty surprising amount, and I unfortunately am confused on this one. And I think I do end up knocking myself out to Confusion in a couple of turns here. Thank God his Bullet Punches aren't really doing that much. I'm actually doing more to myself in Confusion than he is with his Bullet Punches, but I try to get off an E-Speed right here to make it easier for the next Pokemon to pick off. You know, damage is damage. If I can out-prioritize him, I might as well attempt it because he's just going to keep going for Bullet Punches anyway. I didn't know 2 E-Speeds would have done the trick, but you know what? I hit myself on the first one anyway, so it's something worth mentioning that I did have the opportunity to do that, but just it wasn't there because I hit myself. So let's go for a knockoff here. He does get a crit, which is pretty unfortunate, but I actually do get freedom of switching up moves now, which is kind of a mixed bag, especially because he does still have Tentacruel left. I also get Instant Karma right there in the form of a Revenge critical hit, as he's going to be able to go into, what does he have left? I think he has his Tentacruel left. His Tentacruel and his Garchomp. So Zygarde did a little bit of a split push there, and gonna eat the Scald, which is fine. I think I will die to Poison after the next turn, but that much HP, you know, Mega Launcher Dark Pulse will be able to knock him out, no problem whatsoever. And we're coming down to the last of the game. I think it's 2v2 at this point. He has a Garchomp that I don't know what it is, but knowing Chaz and knowing that this is a variant of the Garchomp that I gave, I'm pretty sure this is the Garchomp I gave him. This is a Scarf Garchomp, and he actually gave it Iron Head, and now it is Mega Gardevoir versus the Scarf Garchomp. And I'm not feeling too good about this. When I Mega, I don't gain any extra offensive stats or anything like that, but I Mega for the sole purpose of having something to one-shot him with. So if I live, I can knock him out with Hyper Voice, but he could also flinch me or one-hit KO me. But he is going to go for the Iron Head, and he did a damage calc on this, guys. I had an 8% chance of living at 1 HP, and because of the fact that there's a 30% flinch chance in there, it's like 70% of 8, which is like a 6% chance of those shenanigans happening at the end there, and they totally did. I pumped 4 in HP because I was like, it's leftover, but it turns out that that one leftover hit point actually saved me the game there, and I was like, that was silly. You get my badge anyway, because that was pretty cool. So we had a grand old time with that game. That was probably the closest game I had of the weekend that wasn't a tie. I think I might have had 1 tie in the weekend. I'll have to find it in all of my Versus Recorder videos, but that was the second closest one. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. You guys know how that works. That'll do it out of me. I got some TCGO coming up for you guys in a little bit as well, probably tomorrow or Wednesday. But for now, I will see you guys later. Bye.